Hey guys and girls, today we're going to talk about how food influences your mood. So I'm going to give you some ideas on how you can use food to improve your mood and the way that you feel about yourself and your energy levels and stuff like that. So um, energy is going to improve your mood. I'm going to go on that basis, on that philosophy, because that seems to be what's working best for me at the moment. And I like to explain things by experience and what works for me in terms of like the experiences that I have and what works for me currently. So what I've noticed is fats. If we look at the science behind fats, for example, 1 gram of carbohydrate is going to have 4 calories worth of energy. 1 gram of a good fat, as in a natural fat, such as avocados, olives, nuts, seeds, flaxseed, those sort of foods, what they have is per gram that you eat of them, it's going to have 9 calories of energy. So also ideal proteins would be also quite oily and fatty. So you're looking at things like fish. So for example, salmon, mackerel, sardines, they're all very oily fish. They're also ocean water fish. So they're full of omega-3 6, which are basically the omega oils are really good for your brain and your heart. Another great one that's got amazing energy is coconut fat. So a lot of people before, like 20, 30 years ago, were avoiding, in fact now we market a lot of low-fat diets. I'm going to argue and say actually a high-fat diet is going to give you a lot of energy. And if you stay away from starches like potatoes, rice, pasta, and bread, you're going to get better results. So fats that I really encourage and I'm eating like quite regularly on a daily basis are, there's a product called Udo's Choice, which I recommend, that's got flaxseed in it. There's another product I showed on my Instagram, which is a mixture of nuts. So I like eating nuts as well. They're really good, particularly almonds. They're high in alkaline, which is good for cleansing the body, which energizes the body, which, like I said, high energy, helps you with mood, smiling like this, grinning, feeling good. So I'm going down the argument of high energy is going to make you feel good. So coconut oil. I tried it. I heard Tony Robbins again talk about eating a tablespoon of coconut oil. Now, when you first try it, don't do what I did. I tried a tablespoon straight away. My energy levels were incredible, but I had to go to the bathroom. I literally was in the bathroom the whole day. And I would say try coconut oil, but take probably like a teaspoon and then build your tolerance up to it. I found now I can have a tablespoon, my gut's absolutely fine, but that's after a week. So girls and guys, definitely start with a teaspoon, maybe have 1 or 2 a day, teaspoons, and then build it up to a tablespoon. And I found that my energy levels just skyrocketed, they're like way, way higher. So yeah, you'll feel a lot better. Avocado, I don't know if I said that already. Avocado is incredible, great energy, slow release, really good. So those are good foods. Now the other thing to consider is the way that you put foods together. I was going to say food combining, but that's a type of diet, and I don't want to go into a type of diet, but a structure of how to eat, for example. So I very much like the idea of Dr. Barry Sears, who wrote the Zone. And he talks about diet or nutrition in a way that you're balancing hormones. So I like this philosophy because balancing hormones means that you're balancing the way you feel. And his philosophy is that you always put carbohydrates, protein, and fats pretty evenly balanced in each meal. I quite like that philosophy. And it also goes in line with the detox philosophy, which is to have a clean gut. So our body, to be at its most energized and to burn fat and to lose weight, is actually when it's at a high level of alkalinity to acid. So we want our alkalinity to be about 7. and our acid to be about 4. So we want more alkaline than acid. But what that's also saying is if we just ate greens all the time, we wouldn't be perfectly healthy because our bodies need a certain amount of acid. So what I like to do is I like to mix like a protein, which might not be ideal, like chicken, and then put lots of broccoli in it. So we've got protein where you've got chicken, and then you've got broccoli, which is greens, which is going to cleanse the gut. And then there's not much fat in there. So what I would do is I'd put like an avocado in there as well, which has got lots of fats. So, you know, depending on your metabolism and your hunger and your taste, you would or wouldn't eat as much as I would, for example. So I train quite a lot. I train every day, and my metabolism's very fast. So I'm not saying that you have to eat that amount. You could eat maybe like half a chicken breast, half a piece of avocado, and a little bit of broccoli. Or you can have as much broccoli as you want. So that would be a way of combining foods in a way that would match with your hormones, for example. Or you could try something like salmon. So that's got the fats and it's got the protein in it. And then you could put it with, I don't know, peppers, bell peppers, for example, because they're high in vitamin C, and they're also alkaline. They're vegetables, so they're live foods that are going to give you energy. And let's say you want to have a bit more carbohydrates, stick an apple in after that. I don't believe in food combining. There's a system out there called food combining where you eat fruit on its own. You can eat fruit on its own, and I do sometimes, but I don't believe that you have to eat fruit on its own. So for example, for me, I personally don't mind having, let's say, fish and vegetables, and then a little bit after treating fruit as a dessert. Some schools of thought say that you keep fruits completely separate from everything else. I don't necessarily agree with that, but you know, everybody's body is different, so I'm not saying that this is right or wrong. I'm saying test it out. Personally, for me, my energy levels since I've tried it have gone right up, where I have moderate to high amounts of protein. I have moderate to high amounts of fat, and I have a lot of vegetables and fruit. What I am actually reducing and avoiding a lot of the time is having rice and potatoes and pasta. And again, I'm not saying don't eat these ever, because like for Sunday, I decided I wanted to have potatoes, and I sometimes have rice. So I'm not saying don't have them ever, because again, that's too drastic and extreme. What I am saying is test like how your body feels. Do you feel like you're slimming or gaining weight? And depending on that, let's say you feel like you're gaining weight and you're pudging up, then take down the carbohydrates, the starchy foods like potatoes, rice, pasta, drop them down. If you feel like you're losing a lot of weight and you're like all, you know, nervous energy and you need a bit more grounding, your energy needs a little bit more leveling out, then try having some rice. It will calm you down. So there's certain foods that will calm you down. I find for me, if I haven't had a steak, personally, steak works really well for me once a week. Like it calms me down because it's high in iron. So protein, for example, it fills me up and it makes me feel a lot fuller and a lot more calmer. So there's certain foods that will match with you and will work for you. For me, fats work really well. So look at food and how it's going to influence your mood, for example, and that's going to help you to really feel a lot better. And also notice, like, do you feel better after you ate a certain food? If you feel really bad after eating a certain type of food, then notice that doesn't work for you. So for example, one day I had lots of fruit. I had a whole load of fruit, and I in the past have had allergies to citric acid. So that means citrusy fruits give me allergy. I get like a swollen tongue, and my face turns into like an elephant man. Everything's red and swollen. So I actually am allergic to citric acid, and I drink lots of water to help me to balance out and not feel itchy. And I also now I'm able to tolerate a lot more fruit than I could before. But I found like when I had just fruit, like lots of fruit together, what happened, and this was only recently, is I started to get ulcers and I didn't feel so well. So don't go crazy, like see what works for your body as well. So if, for example, high protein, high fats, and high vegetables, moderate vegetables and fruit work for you like it does for me, like try that out. If, for example, meat just doesn't work with you, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, ethically don't like it, or it just doesn't suit your body, well then test that and see what works for you, and look at proteins that will work for you in a better way. Because there are foods in fruit and vegetables that have protein. I found like goji berries have protein. I found that nuts and seeds are very high in protein as well, and they're not animal products. Also, if you eat fish, they're high in protein as well, particularly white fish like cod and haddock. So if you're not looking for so much fat, but you're looking for protein, look at cod and haddock and white fish and sole. That works really well. So anyway, if this is like a lot of information and confusing, like have a word with me and we can talk about all the different options of how you can help your nutrition and tweak it. It's always about progressing and tweaking your nutrition in a way that makes your mood better, so that you feel better, you feel more energetic, stronger, and you're in better shape. So I hope this helps, and I hope to speak to you all soon or see you in person. Have a great day. Enjoy.